Tiana St. Clair is a sexual assault survivor. She is expressing herself through a music video, which will soon be released to help others.
As a survivor, I want to empower the survivors and the victims, and I also want to make a change with the perpetrators, because we can change this.
One of the biggest changes is to start by believing. The global campaign was brought to Dixie State University to end the cycle of silence in sexual assault.
Start by Believing is just one way that we can open up and have that dialogue as a community here on campus as to how we should address those that disclose being sexually abused.
Staff, students, faculty, and the general public took a pledge agreeing to listen and believe.
The pledge is real basic, and it's basically saying that if I sign the pledge, I'm willing to start by believing an individual who discloses being sexually abused or abuse in any nature.
Many signed the pledge in honor of friends or family members who were victims of sexual assault.
Well, I believe everybody should have a voice, and some people need help expressing that voice.
I just think it's so important to be an advocate and to stand up for them and basically just let them know that it's not okay and that we're here for them.
It's proven that when you believe a victim of sexual assault, they have a better rate of recovery, even if there is no conviction.
To have someone who's supportive and open and just wanting to listen to them and just hear their story, I think for girls especially, just talking it out and being able to have someone to confide in is so important.
In any given year, Chief Barfus said there's an estimated 0 to 3 reported rapes on university campuses. He said the reason the number is hard to track is because they are underreported.
The statistics, 1 in 5 on campuses and 1 in 3 women being sexually abused, are frightening. And what's even more frightening is that for every 1 sexual abuse case that is reported, 5 go unreported.
The last 2 years we have seen an increase in our numbers of victims reporting to the emergency department for care, and that's a good thing in the fact that that means people are reporting.
The Dove Center is one of many support systems used to help victims during their traumatic experience.
We have a hospital response team who people take on call shifts throughout the month, and they go to the hospital to be there for emotional support for someone going through a rape kit exam. It's a very invasive and difficult exam, but it's something you don't want to go through alone.
Utah is finally catching up with its backlog in rape test kits submitted for prosecution. A new tracking system is also being used.
It empowers the victim to see the process and what's happening with the evidence that was collected for them.
It takes a lot of courage to come forward, a lot of courage and a lot of support.
Barfus said in many cases of sexual assault, it's a problem of communication and not receiving consent. But in others, it's simply a perpetrator who relies on the victim not to tell.
What we know is that for every reported sexual assault, there's typically 5 or more that go unreported. And these individuals who do perpetuate and do victimize individuals, if not reported, if not caught, do move forward, and they continue on their patterns of assaulting others. That's why it's vital that we have and open the lines of communication, and we start handling these cases appropriately, and we start talking about how we can best resolve these issues.
While there is only a 1% conviction rate on most rape cases, advocates continue to concentrate on supporting the victims.
Don't pin your recovery on what the justice system can or cannot do for you. We start focusing on how to cope, what their coping mechanisms are, who their resources are. There's an amazing amount of resources in our community to help support those victims after this has happened, to help them see they can go on.
That is my truth and enough hiding.
Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.